your goddess guru, and y'all know I love helping the sister friends, all of the women in the house, live in alignment with their life purpose using ancient wisdom and the power of the goddess centered lifestyle. How are y'all doing? Welcome, everybody. Already see we got some sisters in the house. Glad to see you all. I know Eileen has already chimed in. What's up? What's up, Eileen? Let me see who else is here. Thank y'all for being here. Greetings to the queen, Latasha. Blessings and enlightenment to everyone. Ashe. Oh. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hello. Yes. So happy to be here. Welcome. Greetings to the goddess. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm going in order. Good morning, Aries, Shay. How are you? Thank you. Greetings to the goddess, Mystic Storm. How are you? Thank you all so much for bringing in the greetings. And let's just go on ahead and begin to jump in. Let me get the music to go on ahead and we're going to move the music to the background. Let me see who else is here. Grand rising to the goddess, the queen, Peg. So happy to see you all here. Greetings to the queen, the goddess, Johnny J in the house. Yes, we got all the tried and true sisters here. As always, I appreciate the hashtag replay sisters. Y'all know I love y'all. I appreciate you all. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a hot mess this morning. I'm just kind of like failing forward right now. Yeah. How am I feeling today? Actually, I feel good. Physically, I have been working to get myself regrounded ever since coming back from my son's graduation, just so up on a high. And there's still a part of me that's just out there, just like, this is amazing. For me, it's so ancestral. It's so ancestral. I think about, how many of our ancestors didn't get an education. I know my grandparents, I'm pretty sure they didn't get very far. Maybe they made it through a little bit of elementary school. This is down in Mississippi, which we all know. Mississippi is not the most rich state, okay? And it definitely didn't have a lot of possibility for the ancestors back then. And so for my parents to have enough foresight to see, like, this is what we need to do to get our children further down the path. So, my parents, especially my mom, not so much my dad. My dad does not like HBCUs. I'm that Black person with a dad who is odd. That's me being like a little bit, PC. But yeah, I went to a HBCU, and so my mom sacrificed for me to go there. And one thing that both of my parents did was they made sure that they got me into the best schools that they could get me into when I was in Jackson, Mississippi, going to school. And I became the first on my side of the family to graduate from college. And then I went and got a master's degree, which is incredible and phenomenal, right? Given our family history. And so, for my son to now be the second generation, he's actually the third generation on my husband's side. My husband's mother, not only did she go to undergrad, she went to TSU, baby, when it was Tennessee Tech or something like that. Not Tennessee Tech, but I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it was like ag. But she also got her master's degree. And so yeah, my son is a second generation on my side, third generation on my husband's side. He's second generation academy grad because my sister-in-law went to an academy. And then this school, they only started letting in African Americans maybe in the 60s, and that was just the men. And then they started letting women in the late 70s. The first woman to graduate from this Coast Guard Academy was sometime in the 80s. Okay. So it's sort of like, even though it was very hard, it was a very hard experience. I just feel like it's something every time, say for instance, black people, immigrants, um, or children of immigrants or immigrants, women graduate, get PhDs, get higher education. I feel like energetically it burst. Um, I don't know if it's curses or it just burst something that was once a ceiling on top of us. And so, that's part of how I'm soaring with that. And it's juxtaposed to me trying to make sure I keep myself from sinking after hearing about the children and the teachers murdered in Texas. And I actually did not, I mentioned this last night, let myself go too deep into the Buffalo thing because I was like, nope, I can't do anything about it right now. I just want to enjoy this trip to watch my son graduate. So I just kept myself in a bubble. So now I'm out of that bubble. And it's other things that are going on. Something happened here in my city also while I was at my son's graduation. So yeah, I feel good overall, though there is a part of me that's very sad. That's what I really want to focus on today. But my body's feeling good. I feel so much better. Y'all know I have been struggling for about 2 weeks. I'm like, for me, I don't know about nobody else, but for me, these eclipses, it's no joke. It's no joke. I love how everybody's speaking to each other. Wow. I'm new to this channel and I'm loving the positivity already. That's how we roll. Yes. We are showing that women come together, we love one another, we care about one another, and we're here to do the work. We're here to grow and thrive and prosper and be abundant in all ways, to operate from our highest truths and using our gifts and our talents unapologetically. So, yet again, let us welcome Erie Shay to the Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. I hope that you all see that this is our community. Yes, I am the one who this community came to, but I don't want to be the only one who feels like I own it, or, I'm the only one who can really make it valuable. It would be nothing without you all. So, yeah, thank y'all for taking ownership of this community with me. Good morning, Apollonia. This is one of my business besties. Apollonia is like, girl, we're business friends. I don't care. You're my business bestie. That's what I say. I love Apollonia. She helps moms who want to have businesses. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, wait a minute. Keita. I was like, I'm gonna get this right. Keita May, Wealth Rising. Asheo, welcome, welcome. These eclipses didn't come to play, especially with Mercury retrograde. I agree, Mystic. I really do. Anytime we're dealing, and see, Taurus is a little bit easy. I know people kind of like give Tauruses a bad, they kind of talk about Tauruses being difficult, but the energy of Taurus actually is not a difficult energy. It's ruled by Venus. It's a very peaceful energy. It's about pleasure and fun, and it's the energy of the earth and manifestation. So that one, it's like we can deal with Taurus, but when we dealing with Scorpio, I remember when these nodes of the moon first moved into Scorpio, It was rough. I don't know if we were to replay some of these videos that where we had conversations back at the top of this year. And I remember making a video on Instagram saying, "Y'all need to be checking in on these young people." It was a lot of people. It was the young woman, maybe she had been Miss America, Miss USA, something like that. Yes, she committed suicide. And it was other people who were experiencing some of this, right? We were hearing news about this happening. It's no joke. It's no joke. It's nothing to play with, this Scorpio energy. I would say that this year and next year, because the eclipses are going to be in Scorpio and Taurus, there this year, we actually started right at the end of last year with one in Taurus. All of this year, the eclipses are in Taurus and Scorpio. Next year, it's a little bit of a mix. There's going to be Aries and Libra, as well as Scorpio and Taurus. So we need to hunker down. We need to hunker down, okay? Because and I encourage everybody to embrace working with Oya and the crone goddess, working with um, um, what is this? Sekhmet probably is another one that Pele, Kalima, the terrible face of the goddess. These are the goddesses that honestly, it's like we really, it's like facing darkness. It's important for us to do that. And to we've already talked about this a little bit. Maybe I talked about this with the SAI ladies, but the integration of the darkness. This is important and it helps us. One of the things that I want to do today is to make sure we understand how to process trauma. I think a lot of what happens in the United States, I don't know about people other places, but here in the United States, I do think we are starting to get a little bit immune to stories about violence unless they're extreme. And then even those, we just become immune because this is what this culture is, seeking. Maybe not everyone in the culture, but there is a part of the culture that is grabbing the narrative and just, you know, creating it to where we feel like we don't really have a say so or whatever, but just making us very immune to it. And I want y'all to remember the subconscious mind, it is all about safety. Its prime directive is to keep you safe. Okay. It will, if it's like, you know what, this news is too much for her to handle, then it's just going to do whatever it can to keep you feeling safe, which might be we just become immune. Because like how I feel right now regarding all of this, it's multiple stories that we're having to process very, very quickly. This is crazy. Two mass shootings, that are more publicly talked about because mass shootings, I think the shootings that happen all the time in the United States. So close together, so close together. And I don't want to use the word vulnerable, but definitely populations that I think that there's not a lot of protections for. No matter what anyone would say. Children are so vulnerable in this nation. And of course, Black people are, vulnerable in terms of like being valued and protected. It's a lot. And it can create, well, for me, it's bringing up like my trauma response from my childhood. I was like, I've got to like really push myself to like stay grounded and focused. Um, and so, the prime directive can make us just, or excuse me, the subconscious mind could just make us like, we're gonna have to shut this down. But we definitely want to make sure we're processing it. We want to face it. I posted something today. I'm gonna show y'all this graphic I created. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet. Uh But this is what came to me this morning. Uh, this is what came to me this morning. Grieve. Process the trauma of being the witness to the tragedies of our nation. But remember, you are the future ancestors. You don't have to solve the whole problem, but stay in the game by using your gifts. What if the ancestors had given up during hard times? Shit, where would we be? Our ancestors have given us the template, so we are not lost. We just have to stay focused on the vision of complete freedom, peace, and prosperity for all. It's probably some other stuff I should have listed there, but I didn't have enough room. So, um, I think it's important because sometimes it'll just start feeling like what I do doesn't make a difference, and it does make a difference. And that's the other message that I really want to bring to you all today. I really want to bring um, the message that we need to just stay the course. Like your life depended on it, engage your destiny. And you don't have to do the you don't have to do the work full out every day. Just be consistent day in and day out. Do something. Yes, there is community here. I love this. Business bestie, soul sister, flow sister. Yes, yes. I love hanging out with the young ladies. Y'all just receive me. Um, y'all just be receiving me, Apollonia. And I just go with the flow. I'm like, either it's just good synergy or I'm like, okay, that's what I need to be doing. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Apollonia. Apollonia is amazing. I so vibe her. Uh, yes, this energy is intense. I agree. I'm definitely having to stay grounded and connected to get through this. Good, Peg. Yes. Yes. I got it right, Kita. I was like, I am not gonna mess up her name. I'm getting this name right today. Apollonia. I'm a Leo, so I can't wait for that season to come in and learn more. Apollonia, I love that you say that. I'm so happy you said that. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is a special something. I have a class that actually is about Leo season because astrologically it's the spiritual new year. I've only ever heard one astrology teacher talk about this, but I think that would be a good time for us to do a reset. There is going to be a special solstice circle that I plan on doing right around the solstice. It may not be on the solstice, but it'll be right around the solstice. So that'll be a good time for us to reset. I do think that we are in a time because we're in the waning moon cycle where we need to wrap up the intensity of the last month of eclipses. So we had one on the 30th, we had one on the 15th. And so, taking that time to journal about what has come forth for you in your life and what is it that needs to be purged? What is it that needs to be released and let go of? What is no longer serving you? And what new direction are you headed in? These are things that I think are important for us to be working on. We do have a new moon. I forgot to pull this up. We do have a new moon workshop, or excuse me, retreat coming up. It's a retreat. And I say retreat because I want y'all to know that my goal is to help y'all to come in and get reset, do the help you to do the healing work for yourself in community to get yourself reset. And it's important for us to do this month after month after month after month after month. I challenge you to join in on my retreats and see the difference that it will make in your life. Um, I do this work anyway, but it is part of my destiny to to share this with other women because, of course, I have certain things that I know that other people may not know, such as the astrology, the wisdom, also to help to a certain degree coach y'all into, however you need to be coached into how do you use this wisdom? Because I think that that's the biggest issue with all this wisdom sharing. We got all this wisdom being out there, but how do people actually know how to apply it? And so, yes, just to remind y'all that this is this Friday, because we have a new moon coming up on the 30th. It's in Gemini. And so I just really think it's important for us to make sure that one of my friends said, she used the word metabolizing things that are on the inside. A lot of times we're thinking about the metabolizing our food. Um, but we need to metabolize whatever's there, even if it's trauma, even if it's stress, even if it's maybe we've had a great month, but still there's always something. We might bring in like the most nutritious food, but there's always something that needs to be peeled away, release, let go, reset. Day in and day out, I do my journaling, my mindfulness. Day in and day out, I do clearing energy, I do clearing work, I should say, for my energy. Day in and day out. It does I could be high vibe like 24/7, but I can assure you there's always something to metabolize because, that's actually how the energy gets released and into our bodies and the nutrients. That's how all of it gets released. So it's, just these next few days. This is what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When is let me see here. Oh, okay. So the new moon is next Monday. New moon next Monday in Gemini. So yeah, I think that that's important for us to be doing right now. And I would love to have y'all. It's more than just coming and me talking. It's also, you get um a hypnosis track that I use to just really solidify everything, and mindfulness, which helps to keep us on the straight and narrow and in our bodies. That's something that's important for us to stay in our bodies, um, as well as just the retreat and the sisterhood within the retreat. So, if you just look in the description box, there's a link that you can click to go there and get more information, register, send me all the questions that you have. Taurus is also about self worth. So, this is a prime time to release. I love that mystic storm. Taurus is my rising sign and Scorpio is my sun. Keita May, welcome. Hello, all the sisters who have planets in Taurus and Scorpio. I'm like, hello, welcome to the team. I've been thinking about working with them. You just gave me confirmation. It is exceedingly important. You can't not even work with them, Keita May, because my thing is, if you have planets in Taurus and Scorpio, your number is up, baby. It's time for us we hitting the road, the pavement running right now. Okay. Good morning, Sharmika. And I owe you an email. I have not forgotten you. Okay. I've been working with Oya and Kali, and when destruction and chaos came in my life, I decided to surrender and to the protection I asked for. Wow, that's powerful. That's a word right there. Like, I don't even have anything to say. Your words stand as is, and I think oh my gosh, something for us to take heed of. Okay. We need wisdom from those who are wiser in years. I love that you realize that, Apollonia. I learned from the young people too. I always feel like I gotta have young people on my team. And I know young people realize they need me on their team. I'm not the oldest in the house, but you know, we all got to work together. Multi-generational is the best way as I see it. Yes. Yes. That is a really good observation, Apollonia, that you realize you need to reset and recenter just before your birthday. And for anybody, most of the time, right before, maybe about 4 to 6 weeks before the birthday, maybe 8 weeks, people might feel a bit low energy, depressed. It's just because your sun energy is waning. And then when your birthday comes, you get this burst of energy. Good, Kita May. Man, I hadn't even started talking yet about what I have, and we just really in this thing. All right, let's do this. Energy work should be done daily for maintenance, if nothing else. Practice, 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 and it's there when you need it. And I'm gonna be honest, and Eileen and I actually work together quite a bit, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like I'm telling y'all, this is the goddess way. Okay. Part of the divine feminine lifestyle that has been ripped from us that we have to reclaim. We have to go make a conscious decision to reclaim this and live it unapologetically in a culture that wants us to be broke down, that wants us to be afraid, that wants us to walk as if we don't have power. Is we have to do this day in and day out. On my worst days, I will still find a way. There's some days when I've been like, especially since the eclipse season started in my signs, I'll just be like, I don't even know what I need to do right now. Like, I don't feel motivated to do my rituals. I don't feel motivated to um, do anything. I'm sad, I'm depressed, whatever it is. I'm low energy. And I remember one day I was like, well, this oracle's here. And I just picked up a card and started reading it. And it gave me so much life. It's like you just got to fight for it. Sometimes the best thing to do, when we're living the goddess centered lifestyle is to just lay down and go to sleep. When everything is in disarray, there's like so much to do. There are just times when I'm just like, I don't have it. I'm going to bed. And then I wake up and I feel so much better. Right. So we've got to figure out what is it that we can do. Like in order to get myself regrounded since I came back from my son's graduation, is I'm like, okay, let me remember what do I do? I even have lists of things that work for me. I will go look at that list like, okay, journal. Okay. Like I will forget to journal because that's how my mind is if I get super stressed or I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm just like really off center, I can't it's like my mind shuts down. I used to have to make list of like, okay, for my husband, this is what I make for breakfast. And I would have like the three things that I make for him for breakfast because he eats pretty much the same thing on a regular basis. And then I would say, okay, I gotta have this for his lunch. And I had everything written out that I needed. And I literally could not think. And I have to go look and see if I get like if my trauma response acts up, my brain shuts down. And so I have lists for my rituals. And so I'll look and see what do I need to do? Okay, I'll do that. Day in, day out, day in, day out. Good morning to the Queen Cassandra. Yay, Sharmika. I'm so excited that you will be there. Man, truth. Definitely finding myself in a season of healing and recovery. Yeah. And I will say, Apollonia, for the Leos and the Aquariuses, this is you're pretty much in the same category as the Scorpios and the Tauruses. Those are all what are called fixed signs. And so um with the fixed energy, they we all sort of like experience change at the same time. And so I'm just being 100, y'all. Y'all know I like telling y'all the truth. All of the fixed energy people, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. Y'all just need to be ready to be in it for the rest of this year, all of next year, and even into 2024. You need to be committed to change and healing, period, with a T. Okay, so let me pull up the astrology. I said I would look at this with you all today. Well, I think I'm gonna do a window because then I can change if I need to. So, yeah, I had said I wanted to come on and do this sooner, and I feel sort of bad for not doing it, but it's just coming back. I was gone for over a week. I was like, oh my God, I'm just trying to survive, and I'm not here by myself like I typically am. So, I just been talking to my kids and my husband and stuff, and yeah, I just didn't get to it because we can see here yesterday Mars went into Aries. And honestly, the beginning of this week it looks good, but the one caveat for me would have been Mars and Aries because like I've been talking about anytime um a planet is moving, especially so there's Mars and there's Saturn. I would even put Jupiter, even though Jupiter is a benefic planet, it has big energy and it expands things indiscriminately. So y'all might hear my dog out there. Um, so moving from that 29th degree is really the 29th degree of all water signs. Moving from that point into a fire sign is called Gandanta. And so that's a karmic point and it will make something, I always use the word pop off. Because it just kind of seems like it's all of a sudden something happens and it's like freaking crazy. Um so that's the one thing. Like Mars and Aries is good to be honest, but that 29th degree that Mars was sitting on, that's the problem point. And I'm sure there's other people who do what's called mundane astrology who could explain other things about it. But in my mind, that's what really kicked off that would explain it. I'll put it that way. The energy, this is what I want y'all to understand because I want y'all to be able to master this and be able to use astrology in a way where you're like, I will dictate what this energy does. Is we have to decide on how we're going to channel it. And so I guess one way we can look at it is on some collective level in the United States, because who knows what happened in other parts of the world with this Gandanta point. But here in the United States, what we have, heard about happening in Texas on the collective level, this is what our collective energy is looking like. Now, why did it happen? And this is one of the reasons why I'm like, yes, this is very hard to process and think about. And at the same time, for me, and everybody's going to have to do it in the way that's best for them. But for me, the first reaction must be, what can I do? What more can I do with my destiny? What more can I do? Because now I want to make sure I'm sending into the collective consciousness that we must protect ourselves. This country must move more into being peaceful and, keeping people safe, however that looks, feeding that into the collective conscious, because this is a reflection to us about us. It really is. And Ho'oponopono, and let's have a discussion about this because sometimes I get a little bit nervous saying things like this, but this is my philosophy. This is how I'll say it. This is my philosophy, and let's have a discussion. When in Ho'oponopono, my teacher said, if you witness it, then you're a part of it. And the question is, what is it in me that I need to maybe do some healing on that will bring about a different message that's going into the collective conscious? And, like we talked about this. This is something I brought up with the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. It's like I decided to look at this story, and so now I'm a part of it. I contributed to it. Even though I'm opposed, like in my mind, I'm like, no, of course I would not like ever think that's okay. And how we talk, but I witnessed it. So the question is, what is in me that would allow me to even see this? And so I think it's just important. I think the universe is feeding us back. Where can we be? What do we need to do? Because I am not about laying down and letting people just get away with, doing bad things to people, not fighting for yourself. You know, it's just been a lot that my people, Afros, have had to do to get liberated, and continue to seek liberation. Um, However, on the spiritual level, I cannot argue with the fact that energetically, you know, this is something that I must face. Like there's something in me, and I want to make sure that I am showing up being whatever it is I need to be. And for me, it's just about if I know for a fact if I'm working on my destiny, if I'm doing the work that I was put here to do, more than likely I am going to be making a contribution that is more in favor of peace, love, prosperity, liberation, freedom, everyone getting to be who they came here to be and to, have food, clothing, shelter. I'm one of those kind of people. My dad used to call me a bleeding heart, and I used to be like, "And what? And what?" Okay. Does this go for your rising and moon sign? I'm a Leo moon and Aquarius rising and feeling this energy heavy this time. It apt more so, Peg. That is such a good question. More so for the rising sign. And I can assure you the moon extremely extremely powerful, especially for feminine beings. That moon and Venus, those are our planets. Like they really speak a lot to us. And so, yes, especially. So, yeah, Kita. And I've recently started back wearing my Moldavite. I love that, Kita, especially with you being a Scorpio and a Taurus. I was feeling that I needed transformation and transmutation during this time. I love it when people are picking up on the energy. I really do love it when y'all um, naturally are following your. See, that's the feminine way. That's the feminine way. That's the goddess centered lifestyle right there. When you're like, I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but I just feel like I need to do fill in the blank. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Mercury trine Pluto, that's pretty good. So I have to look at things in multiple ways. So Mercury is here in Taurus, trine Pluto up here. So, okay. So one thing that I do want to encourage you all to do is focus on, okay, let's see here. Taurus is self-worth and self-value, just like Mystic Storm mentioned, and it's about money and material manifestation. So I encourage you all to definitely revisit your um what did you want to manifest this year? Materially, especially. Where do you want more success? And let's see here. How can you step more into your power? Because Pluto is power. And let me tell you, Capricorn is power, okay? Capricorns will fight to be the leader. Okay. They don't do well following because that's not the nature of Capricorn. Capricorn is meant to lead. It could be the most introverted Capricorn, and I will assure you that Capricorn is gonna be very much like I'll just take it and I'll do it. I'll make sure it happens or whatever. Um and also, it's Mercury. So, how many of us need some type of mental transformation? You need a transformation of the mind. You need to be more empowered. And part of our power comes from our worth and our value, but how you see it. So, I think that's important for us to really embrace. And maybe also, there was some idea that had come to you about making money or taking care of yourself. That's another one. Maybe some money had come or some ideas that come to you about how to take care of yourself that will lead you to be more empowered. Now, Pluto also is transformation, and Kita mentioned transformation and transmutation. So, yeah, transformation and transmutation of the mind so that you're able to show up more powerfully and be known for who you came here to be. Because, see, Capricorn is about what are you known for? And so, yeah, I'm glad I looked at that. Mercury is very close also to this node of the moon. So I do think that that's an amplification. The node of the moon, you know, it's a lot going on in Taurus right now. Wow. So, well, no, Venus isn't there yet. She's still in Aries actually. But anywho, that node of the moon is the direction that we're going in. And so it's important for us to be thinking about all the ideas that are coming to us that are about taking care of ourselves. It's also about your stuff. Some of us need to get rid of some of this stuff. Um, uh, Taurus is a sign that has to do with hoarding when it's in the negative. And I think that, those of us in the United States, we're natural hoarders. I know that there's this minimalist movement happening. I think it's in response to why do we need all this stuff? Taurus is more about living more simply. And so that could be coming up for us also. Some of us may feel like, I just want to live more simply. I don't need the biggest. I do believe in having the best. Taurus is like, we want it to be of value. Taurus likes things to be nice. We don't want nothing broke down. We don't like that. Taurus likes nice things. I've always been the kind of Taurus who is like, I don't have to have 1,000 clothes, but when I go to the store, I just want to buy what I want to buy. I don't want to care how much it costs. If I see it and I like it, I'll just buy it. I don't do that as much now, but when I was younger, like in my 20s, I would just go to the store and I would say, I just want one outfit. I would pick out the one outfit I wanted. Didn't matter how much it cost. And I just go right home. Now, there's another part of Taurus, like we're conservationists. So it's like, I'm going to keep this thing forever. Maybe I'll use it again. So some of us need to be doing a little bit of letting go of some of this stuff to lighten the load so that we can be more free to engage whatever it is that we are here to do. Some of this stuff that we have in our life is weighing us down. And it could be some mental stuff too, with Mercury being there. You know, what mental clutter do we have up there that's weighing us down and not allowing us to access our power? Yes, yes, Kita. Yes. Okay, Venus sextile Saturn. I love that so much. I love that so much. So, yeah, I'm glad I'm looking at this because I was feeling just like really depressed earlier. Okay, Venus is here in Aries. Now, cool believe this is actually not the best position for Venus. It's the fall position. Is that the fall? I think it's the fall position, FALL. And what that means is she rules Libra. That's where she's good. And so when anytime a planet who rules a sign like here is in the opposite sign over here, that's called fall. What is the other word? I don't know. Like I told y'all, my brain is not fully on right now. And so she actually is not a good position for Venus. We can work with it. I have Venus in Aries. You learn how to work with this energy. But while she's there, it will make us focus on, like, taking care of our body, maybe exercising, working on muscles. I've noticed I've been like, "All right, I'm ready." Ever since, um, planet started moving into Aries, I've been like, "Okay, y'all, I'm getting myself together." I've been feeling more, like, ready to work on my lifestyle and everything, because Aries is about the body and, working out and movement and action. And she's also though, Aries is actually about fighting. And so it could be that more women, like I have found I have become a little bit more spicy and like I feel sort of like I'm not taking crap off of anybody right now. I'm just like really irritated if people are doing things that I think like, no, that's not okay with me. Um, and so she's sextile Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn in Aquarius is great for making progress on your goals and maybe this is like if we go more on the collective level, we've been seeing more things about worker people coming together and fighting for uh, like workers coming together for what's the word I want to use? Y'all give me the word. Organizing. They're organizing to have better working conditions and all that. And so, maybe it's more women who are going to be both Aries and Aquarius. These are signs where advocacy could be involved. You'll see a lot of people who are in advocacy work, they're Aries or they're Aquarius because they have the energy of fight and rebellion. Um, but with Venus sextile Saturn in Aquarius, it could be for the individual that we are going to be like more determined to make progress. We're going to have that energy to be like, hey, this is the goal that I set for myself. I will not be denied. And it gives you that energy to get it done. And you don't feel super emotional about it because Aries is not emotional, trust and believe. And Aquarius, like we all know, Aquarius is we're like, where does Aquarius have feelings? Because Aquarius is like, I feel nothing. It's really they're detached. So it's actually a blessing. I mean, like, I sometimes get a little bit of get jealous of Aquariuses because they're just like, I didn't get offended. Like I didn't even feel it. Like y'all are crying about what? Because they can't. Because they're here to rebel. They're here to like, oh, that's something else. Um, it's like Aquarius allows you to see into the future. It Yeah, it's like futuristic, even like something that nobody else can conceive of. And that these kinds of things that might be that you're working on these kinds of things right now. And so Aquarius doesn't have time for that. It has to stay focused on the future and get everybody to realize this is where we headed, y'all. This is where we headed. So I think that this could be a little bit. We have a few days. Let's see here. For sure today. What's today? The 25th? Where these two aspects will still be in play, especially Mercury trine Pluto. We'll probably feel that right here. Um, let's see here. Hey, good morning, Natasha. But I might need it next year. You cracking me up. Kita. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's see here. So just because we don't see anything here doesn't mean nothing is going on. So Venus square Pluto. Again, this is going to be going back into power and control issues. This is a time where I would not be surprised if we start seeing women because Venus is always going to be something about women um like rising up and yeah, I do think that we'll see something with women fighting for power in some kind of way, maybe even something regarding governmental or organizational powers that be, because Pluto is in Capricorn. Um, but in terms of the personal level, it also could be women are like ticked off at people who are trying to tell them what to do, bosses, and women are or relationships, because Venus has to do with relationships. So it could be some power and control stuff going on in relationships. So just don't be, I always say these short transits like this, you just want to take some deep breaths and make sure that you do your best to just be open to what is the lesson. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of when hard times come up, sometimes it's like that's an invitation, it's an opportunity. What do I need to do here? And in the moment, yeah, we might just be in our feelings, we might be feeling the emotions. And y'all know some of us are like, I remember the last time this happened. I'm not going to let this happen again. And it's so subconscious. We may not even realize we're having this conversation. But if we can just say to ourselves, I will give myself a moment to breathe. And then what I do is I check in with my Ori. What is the Ori? The higher self. What do you call the Ori? I would love to hear from y'all. What do you call the Ori? Natasha in the house. I call the Ori, or the Ori is the higher self. It's like, okay, what's going on? Is there anything I need to do about this? And then I have other things that I do too that I'll share with you. Y'all hear me talk about the Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And my biggest thing is let me just clear the energy. It might just be I just needed to have this happen because it's some energy that's stuck and I just need to get it cleared out, you know? Um, so trust and believe this Venus square Pluto, it is kicking in on the 25th. It's usually about Venus. We're going to feel her energy for about 3 days unless she's retrograde. Mercury is about 2 days. We could say 3 days, especially if it's dealing with a powerful planet like Pluto. So that Venus square Pluto is already in action. And look at this. Pluto was activated on the 22nd and is activated on the 24th, on the 26th this week. So this is a very Pluto week. Transformation, transmutation, power and control. Actually, Pluto has to do with money. So this Venus square Pluto, it could be something coming up with money. Yeah. Something regarding yeah, finances. Okay. Okay. Sharmika, I'm still learning about the Ori, still new to me. Yeah, the Ori, all the traditions have a different way of talking about the higher self. But essentially, the Ori, hold on one second. My son and he's here. So let me see, what does he want? Essentially, all of the traditions have a way of talking about these energies. More than anything, it's just to know that the hold on one second. I had meant to do this earlier to help him out. I don't multitask too well. So pardon me. Man, technology is amazing that I could do something remote for him using my phone. Okay. So yeah, the Ori is the word that is used in the Yoruba tradition, but just know that it doesn't matter really what the tradition is. Each tradition will give us a way that it understands this energy within us. And it just helps to enrich it. But essentially, the Ori is that part of yourself that is on the outside looking in. Okay. It is on the outside of manifest reality. Is you actually on the outside. It did not incarnate into the body. And so it's your guide, actually. This is the ultimate relationship. It's not with another human being. The ultimate relationship is with the Ori, is with the higher self. Because when we're listening to our higher selves, then that part of ourself knows everything. It understands the mission. And when we listen to it, it will show us where have we picked up some karma and maybe need to like settle it up, maybe we brought some karma in here that needs to be settled up. Um, Maybe there's some lessons. It will call you to use your gifts and your talents. And so this is why it's so important for us to listen to our intuition, which is, one of the probably is probably one of the primary tools. I'm trying to think, if not the chief tool of the goddess centered lifestyle is to listen to your intuition. Period with a T. So, study the Ori, but don't get too lost. If you're like, I just can't grab it, don't even worry about it. Find the tradition that best helps. I oftentimes will use a lot of the Afro terminology because a lot of people don't use the Afro terminology. And my thing is, I'm gonna bring respect and honor to the Afro traditions, even though I don't limit myself to what tradition, because I've lived many lifetimes, other traditions. And so I have things in me that I align with. Like I love Hinduism. Sure I had some life when I was an Indian woman or whatever, or I remember a lifetime when I was in Ireland. So there are things that I might have an inclination for from those traditions. And so, but of course, many lifetimes Afro. I do know that. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm here to raise up Africa. But it doesn't really matter because you can, it's sometimes it's hard to grasp what's going on with this Yoruba Ifa tradition. So we don't want to get lost in that. Um, let's see here. So, okay. I just do deep breathing. Beautiful. I love that. I love that, Natasha. That is actually, would say that's one of the best tools we could use. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. It's people who are starting to have whole businesses leading people in breath work. That's how important that is. Okay. Higher self. Higher self. Okay. I love that. I love this, Kita. The navigator. That is so good. Not to pull away from the convo, but this is amazing information. Thank you, Tyra. Oh, you're welcome. You're not pulling away from the convo at all. We just talk learning. We just talk. Glad you're here. Thank you. Do you have a technique to learn your Ori's name? I never heard of the Ori having a name. To be honest with you, does my Ori have a name? I say just give it a name. Tell me, what do you think your Ori's name is, Kita? See, in my mind, you are the Ori. So we could say your Ori's name is Kita, Kita May. I never heard of the Ori having a name. Mhm. I look at my Ori as an Orisha goddess. It is. I 100% agree with that. The way you explained it is easy to understand. Oh, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Through the nose. Okay, learning. Exactly. I honor all my lives and lifetimes, and that brings many traditions. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't even know where this astrology comes from. I never thought about it. I just jumped into starting to learn astrology, and I don't know. I don't know myself as an astrologer in another lifetime, but for whatever reason, here I am. Okay, so this is interesting. So on Saturday, Venus goes into Taurus. All praises. All praises. Venus goes into Taurus. Thank you. We need some Venus and Taurus right now. So what I love about that is, Venus and Taurus, it will bring this topic of pleasure. Y'all think we've been hearing people talk about pleasure and prosperity and abundance. You ain't seen nothing yet, honey. It's about to be on and popping. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Venus in Taurus, focus on money topics. So, those who are wanting to bring in more money, maybe make money in a new way. So, let me tell y'all about this. Venus in Taurus is about what you value. It speaks to values. And that's one of the things I always promote with Venus in Taurus is um, take time to look at what are your values. Let me tell y'all something. Once I started learning, studying for my NLP certification, I began to realize, and I knew this, but it helped me to understand it even better, that what you value is going to dictate what you do in your life. And so, what you value, and when we're talking astrology, what you value, it will dictate your money. It will dictate how you make money. A lot of times when I'm looking to see, okay, this person is like, hey, I want to make more money or I want to make money doing something different. One of the first places I look is the second house because it tells me what this person values. So, what's the sign that's on your second house? For those who know your rising sign, what's the sign that's on your second house? I'm gonna use Peg. Peg told me she is a Aquarius rising. The sign on the second house, and I use whole sign for those who know a little bit about astrology because it's simple. So the sign on the second house for an Aquarius rising is Pisces. What is Pisces? Pisces is children. Pisces is compassion and spirituality and creativity. Um, it's a sign that has to do with healing. And it actually is something that's medical. And I know that Peg actually is a nurse. Now I can't remember where Peg's Jupiter is. I don't remember her chart like that. But if we just go by her second house alone, those are things that Peg values. Peg values whatever is on that second house. And that is a way that Peg can understand how she's going to make money or the things that will be important to her in her life. But I want y'all to know that when you are moving yourself in the direction that you want to go, say, let's say you want to change your career, then you have to take on the values of the new career. So, like for me, moving from being a stay at home mom and a fitness instructor, I had to take on the values of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs value a certain lifestyle, they value certain things. And so they're going to be doing certain things. Other people who are not entrepreneurs, they may not have those same values. They'll be doing something different. Um, and so you just have to understand that's a way to like create a shift. But if you really want to know why you do what you do, number one, it's going to be who are you in your mind? Whether don't matter what you really say you want, is who you are in your identity, in your beingness. That is going to tell you what you're going to do. Number two, your values. You change the identity and the values, that person will change. Right. And that's how I've been working on my health and wellness. I started saying, okay, I actually did lose value in exercising. And it's because I sort of hated teaching at that point. I hated teaching because it was killing my body. And I started valuing not exercising. So for how long? What pandemic hit back in 2020? So yeah, for 2 years, I have been working on switching my identity. That's one of the reasons I was like, I'm done teaching. I'm not teaching anymore. Because I was like, I gotta lose that because that was keeping me stuck. And then it was like, okay, I value working out. I value my body. All these conversations I keep having with myself. Even if I was in the kitchen eating something when I wasn't hungry, I would be like, I just want to remind myself that I actually value my body so much that I would not put extra calories in it that it doesn't need just because I'm stressed or I'm bored or whatever. I'm one of those kind of, well, let me see. In the past, I've been one of those kind of eaters where it's like, I'm not hungry, but I'm gonna eat because I'm stressed. It's an emotional, I'll put it this way. And so I just started working on those values. And that's how I've been shifting myself. It's not all the time shifting your behavior. Okay. Okay, Peg said, "That's interesting. I'm trying to be aware. My kids feel this energy as well and having to do a lot of breathing exercises with them." That is so beautiful. Like, that is so beautiful. You started something, Kita. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There's this one business coach that calls, she was like, she's teaching people how to do business using spirituality. And she said, y'all have what is called an inner business expert. And she calls it IBE for short. Now I know I've had my Ori, but I never really talked to my Ori like this. So it's one energy, but I do have a name that I use called IBE. I'll be like, IBE, what do I need to do? And initially I was asking like, okay, should I do this or should I do that for my business or whatever? And now I'm like, okay, IBE, like what should I wear? Or IBE, it's like things that have nothing to do with my business. I'm like, what should I do IBE? But it's me talking to my Ori. So maybe it is good to name the Ori. Like that's actually pretty ingenious. Sharmika. Woot, me and my family going to the, yes. I'm so happy to hear that, Sharmika. Yes, enjoy. Enjoy. Yes, Venus and Taurus. And yeah, such a good time. Such a good time to indulge in pleasure. I love that. Kita, I've heard some folks talk about our higher selves having a name, but no more say, oh, how to learn it, I guess, through meditation. Yeah, I think that it's I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes people teach what they have been taught, and I think if it's cool and it works for you, do it. Um, yeah, and I think I'm telling you, your higher self, Kita, and for anybody else out there, your higher self is you. And so you get to call your higher self whatever you want to call it. I promise you. So if you get a name through meditation, the one challenge I'll give you is go with it. Just trust it and go with it. And I bet you could get your name right now. I'm going to ask you right now, Kita, tune into yourself and everybody else who wants to do this. Tune in and really listen and ask your higher self, what is your name? Give me your name, higher self, and see what name comes to you. And just trust it. If anybody gets a name, let me know. The other thing is, if you don't get a name right now, just keep your mind open that you will receive it. And when that name comes to you, trust it. So my godmother had us do this one time. She talked about how she was meeting her higher self and she just knew it was going to be this gorgeous black woman and it turned out to be this little Asian man. She was like, okay. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm going to see if I can identify that part of myself. And I don't always use this term, but um, when I met my higher self, it's this ancient old black woman, and that's her name, Black Woman. And I just go with it because as I was sitting here tuning in, I was like, "What is the name?" And she was like, "Girl, why you tripping? You already know you identified me. Quit playing." And I see her. She has like this sort of like an afro, and her skin is real black and a little wrinkly, and she's real skinny. And like I'll see her work out with me. It's like she's my friend, essentially. And that's her name, Black Woman. I don't need nothing special. I'm more simple like that. Ah. Okay, so Natasha is a Gemini. Her second house would be Cancer. And so you value things that have to do with the home. I would also think you would value owning land or family history. Um, Food, And actually, it's an intuitive sign. So Peg with the Pisces there, also intuition, trusting the invisible. Um, but yeah, Cancer is home and family emotions. And let me take a drink. Home, family, emotions, food, children, because Cancer oftentimes is related to like taking care of little children. So I could see some Geminis maybe being people who work with children. It all depends on where your moon is, though, Natasha, to be honest with you. But that second house does speak to what you value. You may not actually work in those industries, but you will value it, and you may choose a career that allows you to be closer to your family. Was that Natasha? Yeah, that allows you to stay connected to your family, or you choose a career that allows you to um, be able to take care of your health and wellness. And, with it being Cancer, like you actually value people taking action. You can't stand it when people just sit in indecision. You don't like that. Mars or Aries in the second house. Yes. So if you have a planet there, the planet then begins to take over um what that house will what you will value. The planet and the sign. It's like you create a sentence with what you value. I just named myself Tiamat because she's a badass goddess. I need to let me put this in here now. Is she Mesopotamian? Yes. Primordial goddess of the sea. Oh, you learn something new every day. Okay. Yeah, I do things like that too. Sorry, y'all, I'm just like clicking on everything. Um, okay. Oh, I wonder if that is okay. Nia? Naya. Tell me how you say that, Eileen. Oh my gosh, everyone's getting their names. This is so exciting. Akili? Akili. And so I'm just saying, y'all go with it. Don't doubt it. And now get to know your higher self. Now that you have these names, I feel like, I don't know, I feel so good on the inside. That would be my first choice of goddesses if I was choosing. Wow. Scorpio, Venus, and Neptune, if I'm reading right. Venus and Neptune are in Scorpio. Yes, that okay. Latasha. Do you know your rising sign? She's our mother goddess. Okay. Taurus is your rising sign. Gemini is your second house, Kita. That is correct. Um, okay. Nia. That's how you pronounce. Okay. Okay. This is cool. This is cool. We're getting all kinds of stuff done here. Okay, so Mars conjunct Jupiter. This is interesting. Let's look at this. So Mars is going to conjunct Jupiter. So Mars is moving faster. It moves faster than Jupiter. So it's going to catch up to Jupiter, which is very interesting. So let's just remember every time we have a planet, two planets that meet, now that's the sign of a new beginning. So we have two things that have happened, and we probably want to be thinking about what happened with Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces in our personal lives. And you can go back to December up until May for Jupiter. Okay. M- Um, Mars has been there for the last 6 weeks. So, in the last 6 weeks, what has happened? Which for me, I don't even know what was what, just because um, I have these eclipses happening. So, I'm going to have to really think about it. But now they're getting ready to meet in um, Aries. So this is creating something new in Aries. And so we have the planet of war and advocacy, fighting. It's a malefic planet, actually. It's hot and fiery. And it's also about the body. It's gonna meet with Jupiter. And Jupiter is a planet that's hot and moist. It's about abundance and expansion. So it's gonna expand Aries things for sure. And what is Aries? Again, it's the body and it's entrepreneurship, it's startups. So something with startups is going to kick off. And Aries is about action. And, um, I have to be honest with y'all. It's war. Is this no, they didn't meet. Um, so Jupiter is also the law. So maybe there will be, we're going to be fighting over laws on the higher level, but within the individual level when they meet, it could be really bringing about this focus on, I think it could really bring a lot about either business, or taking action where maybe we have been inactive, taking action, but in a way that's being guided by our or read. Like to me, that Jupiter is to a large extent like hearing the wisdom of Ori. Also, it could create more focus on, health and wellness and us working out, maybe some new type of working out or a resurgence of working out or something like that could come up. Um, it's big energy. And it's already in effect because Jupiter is at 2 degrees and Mars is at 0 degrees. So we are already feeling this energy. I'm going to tell you how long we feel it for. So this is truly something about new beginnings because it's happening in Aries. I'm so happy we're looking at this. Um, okay, so I sometimes I feel bad going so long, but I guess I need to accept this is just how I am. This is what I do. Y'all come on here and talk to me. I'm gonna talk to you. Okay. So Mars is at 0 now. Okay. They're gonna be riding there right along together. 5 and 3. Okay. So I'm even gonna give it, let's see, 6 and 4. I'm gonna give it until June 3rd. June 3rd. That this energy is going to be in action. So let's talk about what is this new beginnings for you. So like for Aries, I'm getting ready to go through the signs, y'all. For Aries, um, this is a new beginning in your life overall. I'm sort of excited for the Aries when I think about it. Um, a new start in a very abundant and prosperous way. Of course, if Aries is doing things that are beneficial, right, in their lives. So I see this as a really good start for Aries. And um yeah, wow. I think we're gonna see Aries being very abundant. I gotta take my little sheets off. Let me drink a little water. Aw, thank you, learning. That's true. Okay, Libra is your rising sign, Latasha. I'm gonna go back in a minute, but we had started this. So if Libra is your rising sign, then yes, Scorpio is your second house. And so that Neptune and that Venus, they're going to help speak quite a bit to what you um what you value. You value relationships and spirituality, I would think. Yeah. Okay. So and one thing I want to tell y'all is I encourage y'all to get a reading with me. I know my readings may seem a little pricey. I've been told they're not actually very pricey, but um you could get every question as long as I have the knowledge in my head and my mind, and where I don't have it astrologically, I just go to my oracle. But you could get so much answered about your life in those readings. So, my position on readings is you should pay whatever amount, whatever astrologer or diviner reader that you really trust. And that you're like, no, this is the one. You should pay that money because you're going to get so much from that reading. And I do coaching. It's 3 months at a time. And I look at the ladies' charts every week because I do a reading for them every week. And there are times when I'm like, I'm so glad you're doing this with me long term, because I keep looking at their chart and digging and digging and digging and seeing more and more and more, and being able to explain to them, okay, this is what I see. Like, this can explain this, or seriously, you really need to be doing this. Because sometimes, so what happens is the women will come and they'll say, I sort of feel like I should do this, but society has, sent a message that the woman has received, and now she's feeling like I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not sure. It's like we always know, honestly, because of these higher selves that we have, these Aries, and we feel like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not sure. But when you have somebody look at your chart, especially if you have me look at your chart, I would be looking at your chart like, excuse you, ma'am, this is in your chart. So I'm going to need you to show up. I'm going to need you to glow up with this destiny of yours. Okay. Eileen will tell you, I don't let none of y'all get off the hook of your destiny. So I just really encourage you to do that. If you want to know how to make money, if you want to know when can you expect relationship, or what are the challenges? Why are you having challenges in your relationship? I look at my chart all the time trying to understand relationship stuff. Um, because, it's easier, quite frankly. I like looking at the chart and doing readings because it makes my life so much easier. I'm not trying to work it all up here. Y'all know how we be doing, just trying to work it all out of here in our head, and it's not working for us. You know this. You're not going to figure it all out here, right? We need a reading. We need to be processing. We need to be working on our bodies and doing our energy work. And then we get clear so that we can hear from the Nias. Or let me see here. Who else did I see? Is it what was Achilles? Achilles. I like Achilles better. From our higher selves. Okay. So, yes, please, y'all get a reading because it's better than piecemealing it together. Though sometimes it might take getting multiple readings. Sometimes one is not enough. There's some people who I do a reading for once a year, twice a year. And I'm like, oh, I see something new now. I see something new. I can't see it all in 90 minutes, but okay. Let me do this really quickly, and then I'm going to look at y'all's comments. So for Taurus, you're going to have a new beginnings in your 12th house. And I would say this is a very healing time. Yeah, I'm just going to do it sign by sign. It's a very healing time for you, Taurus. Wow, this is okay, Tauruses. And I'm going to tell you something, Taurus, that just came to me. It's important for you to pay attention to what goes down between now and what was I say? I said June 3rd, because this is actually going to be at the forefront for you once the eclipses start happening in Aries and Libra. This is giving you actually it's giving all of us foresight as to where what the next eclipses that we have, what this is going to be focused on. So it's like it's kicking off Aries topics that we'll be focusing on. So the Aries, you're going to be, I think it's going to be a really prosperous time for you, but also it's kicking off a new cycle regarding your body and the direction of your life. So, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, all of y'all need to understand that this meeting of um, Mars and Jupiter in Aries is taking your life in a new direction. I say a good one, an abundant one, but it is one that requires action, which all of y'all are action takers, the ones that I just said for sure. But for Tauruses, this one is going to be kicking off like you working. This is a very important one. How are you taking care of yourself? Get into that subconscious mind. Start using subliminal just tracks and hypnosis and really shifting the inner landscape on the inside. um, it could bring up a huge amount of creativity for everybody, actually, because actually Aries is very creative, and it could actually bring up a lot of sexual topics, a lot of energy surrounding sexual, like how we are in our sexuality, but also for um, Tauruses, it could bring up a lot of creativity. And actually, some of the Tauruses who are still in childbearing years might want to be a little bit careful. Might find yourself, in the bedroom so much, little baby is on the way. So for Geminis, I love this for Geminis. This could be a very profitable time. Um, I don't know when they'll meet again in Aries. So I just want to encourage y'all to like take advantage of this. It could be setting you up to make a lot of money, to be very gainful, especially from your career. So Geminis, if you don't feel gainful, just be focusing on moving your career in the direction you want it to go in so that you can be gainful and making progress. And also for the Geminis, it might put you on a track for, getting some new friend groups that are more like in the direction that you want to take your life. And also, I think that it will be good for some of the Geminis to get more visible, maybe more active in the community, and maybe even using more technology and getting on YouTube or podcasting or something like that. For the Cancerians, the Cancerians. Come on now, Cancerians, y'all might be going in a new direction with your career. I'm so excited for the Cancerians. Um, so yeah, and I have a friend who's a Cancerian, and she's seeing an upturn in career right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the Cancerians. Yeah, so what you're known for could be something new. You might change your career, Cancerians. And you also may find that um like I said, what you're known for, it may not be career, but just what you're known for. Just a simple example. I've been known in my local community for being a fitness instructor and an African dancer. When I show up, that's what people see. And I have had to let them know I'm a coach. I'm a coach. Thank you very much. I don't always say spiritual guide because it's like, I don't like all these people here. Um, so yeah. Um, Yeah, I'm excited for the Cancerians. Okay, for the Leos, going in a new direction in terms of like your world paradigm. I actually think the Leos may find themselves very having a lot of good fortune. And I'm gonna tell y'all, being a Leo is very hard. People do not understand. I feel bad for the Leos because y'all got some rough energy and yeah. So for the Leos, maybe some good fortune, a new perspective. Um, Growth and expansion, and also Leos may find themselves traveling more, um, especially out of the country, um, or going back to school or getting some certification if it's not like traditional. When we think about like going to get a degree at school, maybe you're going to get some higher level certification. The one that I use is like I became a certified health coach at one point. I still am a health coach. Um, but you have to study for it and study and study and study, and then you have to take this test, and then you got to take all these classes to keep the certification going. There might be something like that, okay? But some of y'all just might straight up go back to school. Some of the Leos may get published. I know some of the Leos have been working on books and stuff. There's one I'm thinking about in particular. So maybe this will be the time where Leos will get published. It's actually a sign, a house of visibility for the Leos. So the Leos could become more visible. I encourage you to set the intentions now. Now for Virgos, you're going to be more like all the earth signs. This is going to be more of an internal drive and change. So some of the Virgos will be like, I'm going to get better and, I'm going to heal up from this wounding. And you might feel more optimistic because Jupiter is being optimistic, and it's like optimism that allows you to take action. But also, some of the Virgos might find that maybe you get some scholarship money or some money comes to you from some other place. Some shared resources, topics of that, getting it straightened out, working on your taxes. This is something that some of the Virgos may have. Virgo typically is pretty good with stuff like that though. But this is a house that has to do with taxes. So maybe you'll start doing taxes, some of the Virgos, because Virgos can be very, logical and do good with keeping up with that kind of thing. I know a Virgo right now who is like, no, I do not want to keep doing this. It could take the Virgos into a more spiritual place. But I see it as a very healing time. Like the Virgos are going to be like, I'm healing myself. I don't care what the rest of y'all doing. I'm healing. For Libra, it could be some of the Libras are going to be hooking up. Y'all going to be getting some booze. It could be taking you out of your relationship. If you're in a committed relationship, some of the Libras, because sometimes the Libras are a little bit like, maybe I stay, maybe I don't. I can see the benefit here. Some of the Libras are like, I'm out, I'm bouncing, I'm gone, definitive. So it could go either way. It could just be that the Libras, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's a lot of Libras who have not mastered relationships. Because guess what? That's what y'all here to do. Maybe y'all start mastering the relationships. Um, you just start learning more about it. I also think Libras are so good at coaching, and so some of the Libras may find themselves starting a coaching business or going to get coaching. You might start saying, I need some help. I need some support. The Libras need to accept that you do well in partnership. And so you might just be like, I'm going to go on ahead and um, maybe you're going to take the lead on getting the partnership going, but definitely partnering up. It actually, though, could make, because this is something that the Libras are actually having to accept right now, that you actually have to kind of stand on your own 2 feet. So this could put you in that place also where you're like, okay, I can't depend on people right now, or no, it's on me. Like, I really need to get this done. I know I'm like typically somebody who likes partnerships, but it's just a season, Libra, where it's like, no, stand on your own 2 feet, get it together. And balance will become a topic that's very important. For Scorpio, it will be all about health and wellness. I'm excited about this because I'm a Scorpio rising, and my health and wellness is top of mind all the time. And so, yeah, I think that would be really good too. I need to write something down. I just had an idea come to me. I don't know if this pen works. My mind, if I don't write it down, okay. So yeah, for Scorpio, this has to do with the house that has to do with health and wellness, lifestyle, routines, and work. And like, what do you do day to day? And so we may see Scorpios actually are pretty hard workers. So we may see Scorpios working very hard. Like, I'm all about the business, like hyper focused Scorpios. We got a little bit of obsession, obsessive tendencies. So it's going to make us very obsessive about our health and wellness and our day to day lifestyle, be it at work or, be it with like, how do we live day to day? And also to make us face some of our problems and want to like, face them head on. Cause see, that's something about Aries and Mars. It will make you face things head on. Aries people, they don't BS. They're not hiding. They're not like, no, they're very direct. And they're like, let's just talk about it and get it over with and let's just move on our lives. So it could be like that for all of us in whatever area that I have mentioned it. Like some of the Libras might just be like, you know what, I really need to just face it. I might be the problem in my relationship situation. Or in the past, the Libra maybe didn't want to talk about it. And now they're like, no, we're going to talk about it. And the Libra is going to be definitive. Whatever it is I talked about for y'all. It might just make you be more direct in how you deal with it, but it will be a lot of wisdom infused in there because it's Jupiter. So yeah, Scorpio, just make sure you be guided by wisdom because Scorpios can be very obsessive. Um, Next is Sagittarius. So for the Sagittariuses, this is good. I love the fifth house for the Sagittarius. So for the Sagittariuses, this is happening in the fifth house. It could bring up something new regarding children. Um, yeah, some of the Sagittarius, y'all gonna get pregnant. If you're in that phase of life, you're gonna get pregnant. I don't care what has happened in the past, you gonna get pregnant, Sag. Um, because Jupiter is as a sign that has to do with children. And this is in the fifth house, which has to do with what? Children. Now some of the Sagittarius might start a business that is related to like something you really love, your passion. And so yeah, you could find yourself turning a hobby into a business. Um this has to do with dating and romance. So the Virgos and Sagittarius, I would even say the Tauruses, topics of sex and sexuality will be coming up, mostly sex, like with the fifth and the eighth house, sex. So, yeah, some of the Sagittarius might be feeling more sexual or something regarding their sex life is coming up. Some of the Sagittarius might also find, maybe it felt like dating was dried up. You might find yourself dating, or maybe you're going to get more focused on like how you're going to date. Jupiter is the sign of the husband in Vedic astrology. So maybe some of the Sagittarius are going to get married. Oh my gosh. And also it's about having fun. So some of the Sagittarius are known for having fun. So maybe the Sagittarius will be having even more fun. Because it's been rough on Sagittarius, to be honest with y'all, because they had the eclipses, the part of the eclipse that's about releasing and letting go. They had that in their man, I've been on for a while. And there are people still here. Oh my gosh, y'all are still here. I know I'm just kind of blowing through, but I want to make sure I get through all of this, y'all. And uh yeah. Um, so Capricorn, this is happening in your fourth house. So big changes for the Capricorns. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Capricorns are moving, or making changes, upgrades, doing something around the house. Maybe there's going to be a hyper focus on the family and also an internal healing of emotions. Now, let me tell y'all, Capricorns, typically they can be sharp, but you don't really hear Capricorns yell. I've never really met a yelling Capricorn that I knew. But Capricorns getting ready to be going off. They getting ready to pop. Okay. They're gonna be like getting everybody together. So y'all just cut them a little slack. They're gonna be getting some stuff done. Some of the Capricorns may actually decide they want to buy a house or buy real estate. I don't care what they say about the real estate market right now. If you feel the need to get into it, Capricorn, baby, that might be something you want to do, honey. You might make some good money with that. All right. Oh, also a focus on history. Some of the Capricorns will be like, oh, I'm ready to start looking at my genealogy, baby. Now, for the Aquariuses, y'all gonna be doing the most, baby. Like Aquariuses might be a little bit scattered. They might be like all over the place. They might be acting sort of like Gemini, where they like look at something real quick and they're like, got it, moving on. Because that's what Gemini does. Gemini does not need to be looking at stuff for a long time. Gemini's brain is click, 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 click. It's like, okay, I got what I needed. I'm out. I'm on to the next thing. So Aquariuses might find themselves being that way, but this is a good time for Aquariuses to be working on a business, or if you're writing something, Aquarius, um, teaching. Some of the Aquariuses might want to be teaching some new things, learning some new things, also some new skills, and you may find yourself traveling quite a bit. Um, and also Aquariuses, actually, I think Aquariuses can be pretty chill. The Aquariuses, you're not gonna back them down on what they, what their position is, but you don't really hear them yelling. Oh, Aquariuses, they're gonna be snapping and cracking and popping. The Aquariuses and the Capricorns, just be ready. My husband is an Aquarius. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my gosh, this is okay. And my husband's name is Craig, which means jagged rock. And I'm always like, oh my God, your name so describes you. Cause my husband is like, don't ask me if you don't want to know. And he don't mean to be sharp, but he's just blunt. Blunt AF, baby. But he always will be, it's like, well, he was on point, y'all. I may not have seen it for 2 years, but eventually I always come back to him. I'm like, you were right. You were right, Craig. So yeah, the Aquarius is going to be having a few things to talk about. Maybe we'll hear more from the Aquariuses about like what's going on in the world and what their vision is for what is to come, because Aquariuses are very futuristic. So come on, Peg, what are the Aquariuses out there? Mystic Storm. I need to hear from the Aquariuses. Oh, also, it could be something coming up with the siblings and friends, cousins, people you're associated with. Also, for the Aquariuses, the mind. Also, there may be a lot of the Aquariuses might be like, oh my gosh, I need mindfulness. I need to go get some mental health. I need to be taking my mental health days. Or maybe you've been down and out in your mental health and you're like, I'm about to take care of this, baby. I'm about to get some health and wellness up into this mental health piece up in here. So for Pisces, this is happening in your second house. Woo! It's all about money, baby. Pisces is going to be making some money. Um, Pisces, for all their flaws, they actually have some really good placements if they would but learn how to use them. That's the issue with Pisces. Pisces, we get all like out in the clouds, and we're just like boundless. So we don't all the time commit, and we miss out. And so we have to learn how to manage that Piscean energy so that it's not always just like this big ocean. Oh, thank you, Natasha. You just oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, I can show it today. Thank you for my super sticker. That just makes me so happy. Thank you. um, but yeah, Pisces got to learn how to like manage that energy so that they can make money and have a good career, a prosperous career. And so this is one of those opportunities that I say for Pisces, hunker down and work on your self-worth, your self-value, so that you can begin to take your money in a direction where like you're really creating that cash. I know that we hear about the crashes and the impending whatever regarding the markets and what's the economy like or whatever. And I just want to encourage us all to remember that as long as we continue to open ourselves up to the abundance of the universe, that we will, that is our source and our supply. There's a challenge that I'm a part of right now. And the lady talked about how does she say it? Money comes from me, prosperity comes from me. And that all goes back to us talking about the Ori and, our higher selves, whatever name we want to call that part of ourselves. It all goes back to that is the ultimate source and supply. As long as we believe that our abundance, our prosperity is linked to an economy, then it will be so. That is what, free will is all about. It's like you're free to believe whatever you want. That's why we're here in this space-time continuum. But I really think it's important that we all remember that money comes from us, prosperity, abundance. Because how is it that some markets can, there'll be some economies that are struggling, and then some people come out who had zero, but they come out with more money than they know what to do with out of that economy. Something happened in that economy and they were able to like really grow and prosper. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage you all to remember that. Okay. Okay. Oh, let me see here. Self worth, self value. Your food, Pisces might start focusing on like eating differently. Um, and it's how your stuff, Pisces might just be like, you know what? I'm getting rid of everything and I'm just going to buy some new stuff. um, Pisces may become passionate though about teaching people about money, or maybe teaching people more about the spirituality of money. Or maybe this is something you're going to become focused on. A lot of times when my second house gets activated, I just start studying more about second house topics. Sometimes it's self-worth, self-value. Sometimes it's more about money. Sometimes it's more about food. But that might be something that Pisces is like, I am so passionate about this. I'm going to start teaching people about the spirituality of fill in the blank. Okay. So I know I have so many comments to read, but let me see. What did y'all say? So I want to say this. So Eileen, this is the name of her higher self, Nia. And I know I'm switching topics. I'll come back in just a second. And then Achille, it seems like there was somebody else. Um, So y'all could have your own spiritual tradition and like tell everybody, y'all, the name of the higher self is called Nia or Akili. Like, honestly, that's what people do, y'all. Like, where did the word Ori come from? Probably it was channeled to somebody, it took root, and that's why we call it the Ori. That's just how creative and powerful we are. Okay. This is so fascinating. Tiamut? No, Tiamat. Tiamat. I'm gonna be all over learning about that goddess. Uh, I love this, Shamika. I always view readings as investing in myself. It really is an investment that I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know what I would do without readings. Yes, an investment. Yes. So Leo midheaven, then I would say, yeah, get ready for change in career learning. You said my chart is all over the place in terms of placement, but I'm proud of them. I love that. That's such a good point because once we start learning a little bit about astrology, when I looked at my chart, I was like, oh my gosh, this chart looks so harsh. Um, but now I'm like, no, this is my chart. I would not be who I am without it. Eileen said, I'm all for that dough. It is yours. I'm learning how much strategy they all give me. That is such a good point. Learning. Yes. Okay, I haven't missed too much because I remember seeing this one. And we love you. I love y'all for real too. For real, for real. Y'all are so I agree. And it's everything because of you all. It's not just me. Please know that. I in my chart, community is key. I'm here for community. And so I'm nothing without y'all. I would be sad if I didn't have y'all. Okay, hold up. I love this. Sagittarius moon, and I have a candle business in the making. This is so exciting, Kita. I am so excited for you. I love this. You showing up and showing out today, learning. Thank you. I love that you're coming out of your shell. It is so wonderful to have you here. Okay, good. So happy to hear that. Just had a deja vu. I'm on the right path. Asheo. Y'all just make me so happy. This is why I do what I do because, yeah, every time I have a sister who is like, I'm on my path, I'm like, yes, the world is a better place. Asheo. I am so excited for you, Kita May. So Johnny J is a Capricorn. She's truly like she really embody. I don't know a Capricorn who doesn't embody that Capricorn energy. That's one energy that to me I can see so well. So yeah. Yes, thank you for my super sticker. I love that. Venus is in Aquarius. I think that this is an important transit for you, Johnny. The eclipses especially. Yay, Courtney. Courtney, I apologize. I sometimes feel like, why can't I get this straight? Are you the one who has the farm? I love this long live because I've been missing my tire boo. Maybe I'm making up for missed time. That's kind of how I feel. Let's see. Oh, what time is it? Okay. I do have to like sometimes my schedule has been shifting. I've been doing more coaching and I'm like, let me look at my calendar. Let's see. This is one thing I love about oh, okay. Let's see here. Um Yay, Courtney's here. I don't know why I thought maybe Courtney was here last night and I thought she was here. Hey, Courtney. This is Micheline, right? Hey, Micheline. I think that's Micheline. It's not Micheline, it's Michelle. Oh, yes, congrats. Okay. I thought so. So, yeah, I'm really excited for you. I know it's probably a wild ride with that new farm, but everything's working in your favor. Yes. Okay. You were here last night too. You were here last night too. Okay. So I will bring this back up. Just a reminder, because I actually, why do I do this? I do it for y'all. Yes, it's Micheline. Y'all can't see Fallon. Say good morning to the sister, the goddess Fallon. She's in the house. Um, everyone's on YouTube, but still, we are all wishing Fallon a good morning. Okay, so and maybe Apollonia is still on Facebook now that I think about it. Apollonia got a lot of kids. She probably working with her kids right now. But anywho, I would love to have y'all join me at the retreat to reset at the Gemini new moon. And it's this Friday. You can register in the just go down into the description of this video. And for me, as y'all can see, the power of um the circle, the us being together as a collective, there's actually magic in a circle of women. And that is why I do the retreats. Like I learned the power of the circle when I was doing my monthly my inner circle when I had that membership. And so I knew I was going to continue to do it just in a different way. And so now this is my solution to that. So I would love to have y'all because this is part of the goddess centered lifestyle. It's a part of the ancient way. And my goal is to love on y'all and to continue to put the tools in your hands And, one thing that I always say is if the greats have to practice day after day after day after day, the greats being all of the teachers that we revere and hear about from millennia, or for me, my teacher, Oshanike, who there is never a time when Oshanike is off her grind, even if she has a slight like veering off the path, she always comes back. If they have to do this work, why do we think we don't have to do this work? They give us the template. They tell us what to do. And so that's one of the reasons why I come on week after week after week, because we have to be reminded. And sometimes what one sister says, it inspires another sister. Just like today, Kita saying, okay, well, how do we get the name of our higher selves? Now we got sisters having their higher selves names, right? It's power in the circle. It's medicine in the circle. It does not all come from me. And so, this is one of the reasons I'm creating this space. It's very rare that you're going to see this happening, even though it's more and more movements. It's very rare that you see women of color leading these circles. Very rare that you see Black women leading these circles. This is very unique. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, because y'all know I'm here for everybody. I'm just saying that this is something that is not, you don't find this every day and everywhere. And it's virtual. You can join it no matter where you are. If you can't make the circle, just sign up and watch the replay, because I infuse it so that it doesn't matter if you're live or watching the replay. You will get the benefit of the medicine of the circle. Let's see here. Anything else? So yeah, I would love it, love it, love it if y'all joined me. And is there anything else I want to tell y'all? Oh, we got more. We got more. We got more love. Father, sisters joining. Thank y'all so much. Okay. Wow. We've been on here almost 2 hours. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I have Mars in Taurus. Don't tell me I can't go. It's Mars and Taurus is like you got the Energizer Bunny, baby. We just keep going and going and going. But I am gonna go on ahead and um get off now, because I do need to. I have actually 2 coaching sessions today, and I'm working on a certification that makes me, like, how do I say it? More adept at showing up, and thereby more committed at showing up for doing women's circles. So I need to study for that certification. I have a class on that today. And yeah, I got on feeling a little bit rough, but I feel so much better now. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for being the wonderful community that you all are, for showing all the love that y'all show one another, for bringing your ashe, bringing your wisdom. I learned about a goddess today, Tiamut. Let me bring this up. Do we have a picture of her? Right here, Tiamat. Yeah. It's just so much goodness that has happened in this live stream today, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Natasha, for the super sticker. That just makes my day. I see that. My brother did one last night. And yeah, have you gotten your medicine today? I sure have. I love that. Smooth sailing with everything. Yeah, ashe. Oh. Yes, love y'all, sisters. All right, queens. Y'all take care. And yeah, y'all know I'll be back soon. Peace and love. Oh, you're welcome. It's my honor, my deep, deep honor. Thank you for being here learning. You're welcome.